okay, that one makes sense. Oh, it doesn't make sense, but I think I'm learning it. Okay.
いや、渡さなければならない。That's a fucking, it's almost like a tongue twister.
I want to give it to her. それを彼女にあげたい.
それを I want, the English says I want to give it to her,
Yeah.
but それを彼女にあげたい would be more like I want to give that to her.
So would you say これを彼女にあげたい?
No, if it was literally just I want to give it to her, it'd be like 彼女にあげたい. And it kind of just leaves the question mark of like, what are you? Like, is it this or is that? Or like,
Yeah. Because it's just it. You don't know if it's this
yeah,
it or that over there it.
exactly.
Okay. But so where is the word for want?
For what?
Want?
Want?
Yeah.
たい.
Age. So
So
uh,
you connect, give. So
oh,
want to, yeah, that's a little tricky.
bro. What?
Yeah.
Okay, so the
But
dictionary form is like to give, it'd be like ageru.
that's, yeah, it's same thing with like agemasu because you're connecting agemasu or ageru or agemaska. You're connecting it to the word age
Okay.
essentially. So it's the same concept.
Yeah, I just always thought of like those. Yeah. I never, yeah, you're right. I just never
Tai,
thought of
yeah, tai is to describe like that you want to do that verb. So tabetai, nomitai,
Okay.
taberu, tabemasu, tabemasu ka, tabetai, I want to.
Okay. Tabetai, I want to eat. You would you say that if you're hungry? It's like tabetai.
Tabetai, one word, I want to eat. Tabetai,
Yeah.
nomitai.
All right. That's another one though. I feel like there's all these things like I feel like once I get it, I'll be so appreciative. Like, man, that's so simple and good, you know? That was a
Yeah.
smart way to put a language together.
Yeah. So there's definitely like a once you get like the memory bank of the basics, like you'll be able to just interchange them all super easily.
Yeah. Fuck, okay. Because you wouldn't ever you would never just say like I want, right?
What do you mean?
Like
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 want
want
personally?
always what's that?
Like you personally want? I want.
Yeah, like whenever you're just talking in normal Japanese, like or even in English, you would always want something, right? Like want is always attached to like another like either a noun or a verb, right? Like I want to eat, I want to run, I want to sleep, or I want money, or I want clothes, or I want whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how would you say I want an apple.
Yeah. So once it becomes I, it's a there's an actual word for it. It's not just I. So
Okay.
hoshi is what it means to want something.
Okay. So we just say so then you would say like ringu o
Ringo, ringo hoshi.
ringo go hoshi?
No, I was just correct because you sometimes you say ringu, it's
Yeah. Sure.
ringo, ringo hoshi.
Oh, there's no connector words in between those. It's just
You could put ga, ringo ga hoshi
okay.
would be the best. Yeah, ringo ga hoshi.
Okay. But in normal
Kuruma,
like
kuruma ga hoshi.
okay. But in like colloquial Japanese, nobody uses the ga.
Yeah, ga would just be like it was just a proper sentence. Like kuruma hoshi is just pigeon, pretty much like,
Okay.
yeah,
So it's almost kind of like putting the des in the deska.
similar. Yeah.
Okay. So okay. But in this
But
situation, you're saying
like in order, yeah, that probably gets confusing. So I feel like in Japanese, there's friends and then there's proper speaking, which is just anyone that's acquaintances, older people, people at the workplace, people that you encounter in the streets. And then there's keigo, which is reserved for people that you just want to show like your fucking utmost respect to.
okay.
So first and second, you should know both because it's not like you should never use the second. You
Right.
definitely don't use keigo. So like I'll tell you whenever it's keigo, but like because
So
you
I
don't
should
want.
definitely learn like the ga and the des and deska and stuff.
Mhm, of course, yeah.
Yeah. And I
So we
should use
should learn by that and then just learn how to drop it off or just know you'll
okay.
eventually know when it's okay to drop it.
Okay.
Probably that way.
So right now, as like a beginner, I should just by default be learning that middle group of
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Let's stick with that, and then
yeah,
you'll be able. You can drop them when you are able to drop them.
yeah. Okay. which would be for like acquaintances, people you meet on the street. Like if I was gonna
Yeah,
like if I was gonna like, go up to a stranger and be like, "Oh, excuse me, can you help me with this or something?"
exactly. Or like if you're when you come here, like the people are going to be friendly to you, but anytime you check into a hotel or go fucking rent some gear or go to a restaurant, like all those deskas or ga, those are all necessary.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, cool, 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 cool. That makes sense to me then, because that's kind of the same way as in Spanish. Spanish has a formal and an informal way of
Hmm.
talking. And it's like whenever I don't know a person, I always just start off with the formal until they like tell me not to, you know?
Hmm. Japan is the same too. Like
Okay.
especially the team too. Like girls like it when you talk with the formal, and then there'll be a point in time where they're like, "Oh, you want to just drop the formal one?" Like, yeah.
Okay.
And
That's funny
they have
because girls,
as it happens around the same time. Like in Japan, it's big to call people by their last name.
right.
Once you get close, people say like, "Oh, let's call each other by the first name," and that kind of is the same time you would drop all those other things too.
Okay, okay. When is it like a time thing or is it just like how comfortable you start to feel with the person?
Yeah, just how comfortable you are with the person, and also how what kind of person that person is too. Whether they're super up, like proper person, or if they're just a casual type of person.
Right, right, right. Okay. That's funny because the like girls in Mexico, they do not want you calling them like addressing them formally because it kind of
Mm-hmm.
like assumes that they're old, right? Because like you talk informally to younger people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always want to be polite and like I always will say the formal to like women or whatever, and they're just like
Mm-hmm.
almost offended. Like it's like calling a woman in the United States ma'am or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, don't call, or even, don't call me ma'am.
Yeah, so Japan doesn't really have anything for the above and for like for older age, but there's like ways to talk about things to younger small children. So it's like just that difference.
Okay, okay. Yeah. But like if I'm talking to like an uncle, that's kind of the same as talking to like someone I don't know who's my same age.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not necessarily about older, it's just about respect.
Mhm. Exactly.
Okay, okay. Nice. Um, cool. I must give it to him. 私はそれを彼に渡さなければなりません。
Yeah. Yeah. Must is a tricky one.
Okay. Is that
And that
long word? 渡さなければ?
the correct, yeah, that is the correct way to say it, but fuck, like that's a long word. Yeah.
It's a lot of syllables.
You could also say like it would be the same word, but like kind of chopping it up like watasanai todame would be the most casual.
渡さないとダメ.
Watasanai would be to not give it to him. And then todame is like that can't happen. So it's that's one we were talking about that before. It's like a double negative to get the point across. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Okay. And then would you say narimasen after that?
No, no, no. That's
Oh,
if you
okay.
were the like, shortest version of watasanakireba naranai,
Fuck. Okay.
which is also a double negative because watasanakireba is if I don't give it, and then naranai is like that can't happen.
Okay. So naranai and narimasen are the same, right? Just naranai is like a shortened version of.
Yes.
So can you say I must give it to him, but with the shorter version?
Yeah. But you could say, or you don't even need to say the dame part because that's like if I cut koreo kare ni watasanai to. Like I need to give this to him. What was koreo? Was is that right though? Koreo kare ni.
In this one, it says, 私はそれを彼に
Okay. So 僕はそれを彼に渡さないと。
渡さないと.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well,
And that's like I told you that before, like watasanai is to not give.
yeah.
Or would just set it up to be like or else. So if I were to ame, it'd be like no. But just by saying or else kind of just gets the point across, like watasanai to.
Okay, okay.
But
I
then the full would be watasanakireba, which is also the same as watasanai to. Watasanakereba nara. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's a
That's a
fun.
long word, man. Okay. But then you could also just omit the watashi wa, ore wa, boku wa.
Kare ni. You could start from kare.
Oh, you don't even need to say sore o.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're right, right, right. Soreo. Start from that.
Sore o kare ni. Fuck, I forgot. Wata,
Watas
watasanai,
watasanai to.
watasanai to.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you just said kare ni kare ni watasenai to, that's like just like to him if I don't give or else. But there's
Yeah.
no it or that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. But you would definitely put the it or like the sore or kore. You would definitely keep that in. That's not something
hmm
that would get omitted.
Yeah. The only time you could drop that is if it's something you already have, and like the person you're talking to obviously sees that you have something, so like you wouldn't need to say kore, or you could just be like, oh, kare ni watasanai to, like I need to give it to him.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
Okay.
need to give this to him. They already know you're talking about this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
For the most part, you would put this or that if they didn't know, but unless it was already part of like the conversation.
Okay, okay. Man, the double negative is definitely something I'm gonna have to learn for sure.
And double negative is tricky, yeah. And then you could also you could the or else can be followed by a lot of things. So it doesn't need to be dame. It could be
Okay.
or else he's fucked, or else he's gonna fucking get busted, or.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But then you can also just use it as a dot 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 and just not say anything if you didn't want to.
Yeah. Because I mean, they don't need to know why you need to give it to him.
Right, right,
They just
right.
that you need to give this to him. So by just saying watasanai to, they're just like, oh, okay,
Okay, okay. I like that. Okay. Okay, that one makes sense. Oh, it doesn't make sense, but I think I'm learning
like.
it. Okay.
Yeah, wasanakereba naranai. That's a fucking. It's almost like a tongue twister.
Yeah, seriously. But you don't use that.
Yeah, I don't use that. That's just watasanakereba konakereba. Yeah, and it's not the fact that the watase. It's not that. It's the nakereba naranai. That's the part that you don't use. Because watasu or watase is that's just a verb, but nakereba naranai